everybody. Welcome back to Manifest Destiny in Victoria 2 with the Historical Project mod. Now, where we last left off, had some fun down here in Africa by annexing Benin. And now, what in the hell? Papal State defaults. Oh, great. So, let's see. Can I move this? Papal States is broke. They are allied with France, and then their sphere. Yeah. They better pay off next time. So let's continue that. So I guess I could name this episode "Every Goddamn Country in the Beginning Goes Broke." Haiti. Well, let us see. Haiti is not worth going to war. I don't want to get like 2 infamy just for that. So, learning a lesson, Haiti. Alright, so, what should be on the agenda today? I believe that now we should start focusing on possibly just going for an expansion of our colonial empire. Okay, so let's see. We could go to war with basically Korea. Could invade Southeast Asia right now. Or better yet, I still think we should expand a little bit more in Africa. I kind of want to go after these guys now, Oro. Let's see. It's like 15 infamy. Main reason I want to colonize in Africa is just because Africa is just full of nice, healthy pops that could like fund our nation, and we could get some nice RGO output from down there. Though, as you can see, Europe is basically the juiciest piece of them all, but bah humbug. I don't feel like setting up an invasion of Europe. Now, let us see. The main issue with an invasion of Asia is logistics. Simply put, our navy is int. I don't think we're ready for that type of leap just yet. We gotta wait a while before we can go into Asia, but when we do, we shall move in force and hopefully take over some of these countries. Hopefully, I'm hoping the Dutch or something breaks apart and we could like snag some pieces over there. But let's see, what should I talk about today on this episode? I know. So, let's talk about Stellaris and Imperator Rome. Well, let's just talk about Paradox games in general. Okay, the Underground Railroad. Jeez. Before I get into that, I highly doubt, let me just put this out there, I highly doubt the Civil War is going to occur. It's way past its due date. It's like 1864, so the Civil War, I don't believe it's going to happen. So I might give us a little bit of a Civil War fix in the middle of this episode, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when I edit this together. But so, Paradox games in general are extremely fun because they are extremely engaging to the player. Now, what I mean by that is choice. For example, the game that actually got me interested in strategy games in general has been Civilization. Now, that's not the first strategy game I've ever played, but it's the first strategy game I ever played with diplomacy in general. So, like, I played Command & Conquer, and like games like that, and Supreme Commander, just build giant armies, throw them together, destroy the other player's base, win the game. That's pretty much what it boils down to. With Civilization, however, it added that diplomacy dynamic, such as coming up with trade agreements, alliances, things of that nature. Now, that game introduced me to those mechanics, and I was like, oh yeah, these are pretty neat, these are pretty cool things you could do, all these like fancy diplomacy networks and such. Let me just justify actually, let's see. you would be just perfect. Let's do this because I want to have a war in this episode. So Civilization had those mechanics which made the game to be more engaging, just the run-of-the-mill like build an army and smash an army type games I'm used to. Now Paradox games introduced me to like much more than just the basic things. Civilization was fun, but I found it fun to an extent. Like, last Civilization game I played for any extended amount of time was Revolution, and then Civilization 5, I played that for quite a bit, but I could never get into it for one reason or another, because I felt as though the game punished me for being a person who liked war. That was the issue I was suffering the most. Is like every time I tried to get into a war, the game would call me a warmonger, and next thing you know, I lose alliances, or literally an ally would turn against me the next turn and declare war on me with a bunch of people, like for relatively the most inane reasons. So I got sick and tired of that. Then I stumbled upon Crusader Kings 2, which had the concept of a game I've been looking for. You play as a ruler, rule a kingdom, and like dynamics with all of this. Yes, the anti-slavery society, go away. So I was really having a high amount of interest in Paradox game when I like stumbled upon them through, what was it? It was like a review for Grand Ages Medieval. Then the reviewer mentioned Crusader Kings 2, and I looked up a Let's Play for that, and the rest is history. But, and this is a mighty but right here, I thoroughly enjoyed the Paradox games. I think the first Paradox games I ever purchased was actually all like the three main ones I played: EU4, CK2, and Victoria 2. I tried doing CK2. The moment the game loaded up, I got instantly intimidated by literally everything, and I backed out of it. Then I said, well, let's try EU4. Same thing. I went into it, literally was overwhelmed with information, and backed out of it. And so my last and only refuge before having to like be sad and the fact that I can't play these games was Victoria 2. I loaded up Victoria 2 as, who was it? Brazil. Lost. My army couldn't recover. Backed out. Started up against the US. Lost an army. Didn't know why my army wasn't recovering after our battles with Mexico. Backed out. Then I looked up the problem. It was like, oh, you have to use your national focus to raise your soldier population. And I was like, oh. After that, I steamrolled an enemy, Mexico, and I saw my soldier pop rising, and that is how I took my first steps in a Paradox game. And the point I'm trying to make is Paradox games are fun, but they're quite intimidating for like someone who's completely new to the genre of grand strategy to get into. Now, for a while, I have a bunch of friends who are interested in like these games because of the tales I tell them, such as my rulers of Hispania like taking over Jerusalem and Constantinople, and then like the intrigue with my family and all that good stuff. Like they are like heavily interested in these games. They so interested, in fact, they want to purchase it. But then they see a video of it and they're like, the game looks cool, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what the hell to do. And they basically, just shut down. Now, oh God, it's going to take 162 days. Oh, well then you guys go take a vacation and bin in real quick. So my dilemma with them is, what Paradox game will be the easiest one for them to break into? My personal opinion, it is down to two right now: Victoria 2 and Imperator Rome. Now, it used to be with me, I would say, what was that game? Stellaris used to be an interesting game to like break into because it's a 4X strategy game. The mechanics were easy to learn and anybody could like, thoroughly enjoy themselves with the multiplayer and so on and so forth in that game. I used to say, hey, if you're interested in these games, play Stellaris and like, learn the basics. And once you learn the basics, you could go on to like the other games with a greater understanding of like the core mechanics that are shared among all the Paradox games. But here is my big kerfuffle. After, what was it, the 1.9 or 2.0 update, I can't remember which one it was. It was the update that was included with the Megacorp DLC, or it came out alongside the Megacorp DLC, that changed the entire economy around. Now, I was actually looking forward to that update because shifting the entire economy around will add more depth to the already like somewhat basic gameplay to Stellaris. And so I, downloaded Megacorp, updated my game, played it, and it was like, oh, we recommend you do a new tutorial. I played the new tutorial, played the game for about 4 or 5 hours, and I said, I can't. Mainly because it's not the fact that I couldn't understand the game or the new mechanics. It was the fact that they turned the beginning of the game into such a slog. I could not deal with it. What is with all these slavery events? Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Getting a little bit ADD up in here, but alright, so the Pinkerton Detective Agency has been formed. And how long will it take for this to finish? 114 more days. Alright, let's continue on with this. So when it came down to it, my main thing for Stellaris was that, one of my main criticisms for Stellaris was the fact that, let's just get a great power ally in Italy. What was I saying? Was the fact that the early game for me was already slow. Like when the game first came out, it was like bearable. Then when they updated it to like change the FTL systems to only the hyperlane one, it slowed it down quite a bit. But like, I could still put up with it. It just like, changed some gameplay aspects because I was used to wormholes because that was my personal favorite FTL. But then when they changed the economy and added like you needed to use alloys to make destroyers and like, basically your warships, I said it's a good idea, but I just did not feel like adding several more hours to like me building up. Like when it took me so long in game like to collect the resources to make a simple like small destroyer fleet, I just bugged out. I said I couldn't. I don't feel like, sitting down waiting for that long. The game is still fun. I'm not going to deny that, but it just, I haven't stepped into that game for a while, and that used to be my number one played. Oh, the Potion War. Ooh, Shogunate Japan is winning. Let's actually check this out. Let me hold my thought for a second. Shogunate is winning. Imperial Japan is falling. And that's what we want. We want the Shogunate to win. Here you go, Shogunate Japan. Here's a couple bucks from your ally of the United States. Long live the Shogun. Emperor Meiji must fall. So, after I bugged out of Stellaris, which was kind of ironic, because Stellaris was, for a brief period of time, the number one played Paradox game I had. I had like, what, over 400 something hours in it at one point. So then I was like, damn, what game can I introduce my friends to that'll make them, that won't intimidate them at first glance but still have fun? And then Imperial Rome came out. Now Imperial Rome, as everyone probably already knows, it had a huge backlash when it was first released because of honestly how bare bones the game was. But at the same time, as much as I played it, I have like just about a little bit over 100 hours of game time in it. The game, to me, so far at this point is the easiest is like to access. Basically, it's the easiest to learn because of how basic it is at this point in time. Now, I do know the Pompeii patch, the beta version of it at least came out last week, and I believe the full version comes out either, I'm probably going to upload this video the same day, so either today or tomorrow on, I think it actually is the 25th, so it's going to be out today. So, with that game, I played it and it was like, I had fun. Mainly because of how basic the game was, but it was stuff that I wish that were in there, such as the more character interactions, trade system to be a little bit more heavy in depth, and then stupid quality of life things such as, let's see this. Tokugawa clan forces have marched triumphantly into Kyoto, and the traitor daimyos have agreed to a permanent peace. The Bakumatsu has ended with the shogunate in control once again. Victory is ours. So, Shogunate Japan exists. Emperor Meiji is under the shogunate's control. And now, Shogunate Japan is going to rule East Asia and form a greater co-prosperity sphere. I'm sure. So, anyway, back to Imperator. When that game was first released, I did have the quality of life issues, such as when you build a road, it literally just goes to the next province. If you say sit the unit up to build a road as Rome, and then sit them to say the other end of Italy, they're only going to build the road to the immediately next province that they're going to, and that's it. Nothing more or nothing less. That's all they're going to do. And that to me was just why. Alright, we're actually going to let's see, which would be the better long term. I mean, the people want more minimum wage, but I am actually going to give basic school system because hell, education is always good, right? And let's see, 27 more days. Okay, so let's load you guys up and send you down here. And you are not allied with anyone. Okay, so you're going to be steamrolled. So the Pompeii patch fixed those issues that are with the game. Not all, but I say with Imperator Rome, with increased character interactions, events that are flavor events and such, the game will be substantially better than what it is. Because honestly, the criticisms of nearly pretty much almost every country plays the same. You just have to play one country in each group, such as the Italian group, or the Greek traditions, or the whatever barbarian tribal traditions and such. They once you play one, you pretty much played them all. And the game suffers from that issue the most. Though I have to say, it's one of those games where even though all of those issues are present, you can still see a glimmer of something great that this game could become. And that's the reason why I didn't necessarily hate on the game a lot when it was released, because the potential for this game to be really good is there. They honestly just needed to flesh it out more. And since they're going to be coming out with about 3 major patches until their first DLC, which is going to come out early 2020, I'm hoping the game is way more fleshed out and way more enjoyable to the majority of people who own it, because I honestly believe that the game is fun. Like I said, I still have fun playing the game even before the Pompeii patch. I haven't really played the Pompeii patch. I probably played it for at most 40 minutes just to see all the differences. But the game, I like the changes. I'm not gonna lie, I like the changes involved with the game. And it's come on, who doesn't like antiquity? I'm disappointed that the game takes place just recently after Alexander the Great's death, because how cool would it be for Alexander the Great to be this in-game juggernaut, and you see him create his empire, the rise and fall of his empire to like the Diadochi and such, but where is it? You see the rise and fall of his empire, or you actually just see like the complete containment of his empire due to him losing to the Achaemenids or something, like, you know, because it's a paradox game, and who knows, let's just say Alexander the Great was distracted by tribals while the Persian Empire basically overwhelmed Macedonia, and well, good luck, Charlie. Anyway, is there any major conflicts going on? Argentina against Uruguay and Paraguay. Looks like Argentina's trying to bully them. That's fine. We are trying to build up our colonial holdings. Let's see. I am still liking how we're getting so many of these like slavery debate events, and especially, let's see, what in the hell? 0% of this population of the Westerners for foreign. Okay, so next time, let's see. Next time, if I could get a political reform, we gotta wait for that to change. I am gonna see if I can just outlaw slavery outright, because I don't think the Civil War is gonna happen, which is gonna just give us that free reform. So, bah humbug. Because we do have a lot of slaves down here. Might a lot of slaves, and let's see. General Scott, you have to hurry up. You're doing God's work down here for America. All right, let's do breech-loaded rifles, because it's almost 1870, and when the colonial race starts, I want to eat up all of Central Africa, just because. I mean, honestly, this game is all about this colonial race. It's basically the heart of this game. And let's see, Hungary's at, oh, they have a rebel problem? Do I really want to see this? How much, viewers, do you want to bet that it is Italy against Austria? How much do you want to bet? I'm going to bet everything it is Italy against Austria. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Now, you guys might see this as being cruel, but there is no way in hell I'm about to get myself into this. Sorry, Italy, you're on your own. America is not, like, it's on a two-front war. It is against France and Austria. What the hell was I gonna do? America is not at its full potential yet. Like, hell, I believe we're still like a couple military techs behind France. Yeah, they got 2 techs ahead of us. All right, and let's annex Longo. There we go. So now we have like this open air resort all for us. And keep you guys down here for a minute. Let's go up here. I'm waiting for some great wars to occur, mainly just because, say if UK gets involved in a great war or something, I know they'll be militarily exhausted, and we can annex chunks of Canada, which is my main goal. I kind of want to unite all of North America. Okay, accept alliance with you, Mexico. Let's increase relations with you, Russia. Alright. Alright, I'm glad we do have an ally in Japan that gives us like a pretty good ally for Asia. Now, what happens with them? Who knows? I hope it's not the worst thing possible, but as we all know in this game, anything could happen. And I don't want to be dragged into a war with Russia, at least not yet. Like all these wars we are planning and plotting, folks, is gonna take a while. As you can see, they have it's like 30, 48. Yeah, they have well over 100,000 troops in Canada right now, which isn't a lot. Basically, all we have to do is like we take over British Columbia and colonial British Northwest. We take over these. Like I would say, British Columbia would definitely be one, and like Lower Canada over here. It'll be something. We can actually probably pull something off. It'll take a couple good wars, but it's just gonna be a couple brutal wars, nonetheless. Yeah, let's get you guys over down by the ocean. That way, at least the supply limit is way better. All right, so there goes my alarm. Let's see. Can I? 28.71 in the upper house. So let's see. I'm gonna do this. Get trinket healthcare system, and we're gonna lower the naval spending quite a bit. Have you guys parked out here in Africa? That'll be fine. Kiss kiss puss. Let's see. Because I have no doubt we're going to be the #1 great power by the end of this game. I still want to complete the Greater North American Project. Now, here's what we got going for us. Let me check my sphere real quick. Oops. Okay. So what we're gonna do, Dominican Republic, I'm gonna turn you down, at least right now. And we're gonna mainly focus on Peru, Bolivia. I kind of want to do something strategic. Basically, if I get all of South America in my sphere, what I'm gonna do or attempt to do is say if I get a war with the British, basically I'm gonna have all of Central and South America come north and help me out. And as we all know, the Brits, they just can't do a naval landing. Like oh yes, freedom of room. Let's do that. Keep doing that. Race consciousness. Honduras, yes, take an alliance with you. And let us build some more troops. I kind of want to just have like enough units just to overwhelm the British Empire over here in North America, because if need be, all we have to do is just throw in a mobilization, and like that's pretty much all she wrote. Let's see. Let's start promoting soldier pops and other areas of the country, because you know, I don't think I might speak this too soon, because like who knows, it may or may not occur, but I don't believe the Civil War is gonna happen. And watch, as soon as I say that, it's gonna be like CSA exists. Oh my goodness, what do we do? So let's keep this up. Start promoting more of these soldiers. Like we have a pretty sizable army. Ha ha ha. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. Now, oh my. Now folks, this is quite a coinky dink. Is the UK allied? I'm pretty sure they are allied to the North Germans. Sweden, Denmark, North German Federation. Okay. You, irrelevant. You, irrelevant. You. Oh, you only got 2 ships. Irrelevant. This is actually possibly our best bet. France, has they mobilized yet? No, France hasn't even mobilized yet. Italy is on a 2-front war with Austria. Austria is open. It's now on a 2-front war with the North Germans. We're gonna take this gamble, folks. I'm gonna try. Shit. Let me actually wrap this video up right here. It's past like 30 minutes, so all right. Game plan, folks. Now, I wonder what you guys will think of this. So, how would this work? Do you guys think this is a good idea for me to invade the United Kingdom? Honestly, the objective would be British Columbia. It's possible, but at the same time, deuces, we're gonna do this. Real politicking again. Here's the game plan. I just allied with the Russian Empire. We declare war on the UK. Germany is without a doubt going to join in on it. The Russian Empire is without a doubt going to go invade through Eastern Germany. We get them. Russia, I'm pretty sure and am confident they'll be able to be more than enough match for the North German Federation. Let me just double check this to be sure. Okay, they don't really got love for them and they hate the UK, so great. All right, so this is the game plan. Reduce relations with the UK, fabricate the casus belli on them to take over British Columbia. We get the casus belli out the way. We then take over a chunk of British Columbia, and hopefully, if we do this, the rest of North America will be a piece of cake. Pretty much, we just have to reduce their force strength. All right, so what I am going to what the hell? Militant socialists, what the fuck? Is there a ruse? Let's not question this right now. All right, so that's the game plan for the next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more. And when we return, well, we may be at war with the old mother country. I want to hear in the comments what you guys think about this or any of our future plans in this series. So with that said, see you guys again soon.
Now this one is pure niceness.